Well, we're fast approaching the final phase of the smoked salmon preparation. Now I'm going to cut the salmon, and not simply cut it. I'm going to cut it on a bias for presentation purposes. And to do that, I like to use an electric knife. Now, I told you before that I like to show gadgets that I think are very useful, and certainly useful to me. This has been a very good electric knife for me. It's a Cuisinart, and although I don't advertise for Cuisinart, I think it's the best knife I've ever had. And the first thing I do is cut the fillet in half. Next, I will cut the fillet on a bias, like so. The other piece of special equipment I'd like to tell you about tonight is this offset spatula. It's a regular spatula, but it's slightly offset so that it makes it easier to pick up things. Now watch what happens here. There. That was easy, wasn't it? And the next thing I do is pat it down to get it to spread out a little bit. Again, this is for presentation purposes. Doesn't that look great? I'd like you to look at the inside of one of the smoked slices. Isn't this a gorgeous piece of smoked salmon? It's firm, it's been curing in the refrigerator overnight, and it has a better consistency tonight than it did yesterday. There. Nice presentation. And if we're going to use this for a party, then I suggest spraying a little bit of oil spray on it. And that will give it a little bit of a shine that will make it look very attractive. Finally, a few sprigs of parsley. A handful of capers. And what we have now is a dish worth celebrating for. Well, we finally come to the moment we've been waiting for, and that is to celebrate this evening's supper with wonderful smoked salmon and a beautiful bottle of champagne. But before we go ahead with the celebration, you know I love gadgets, and I'd like to show you this one. It's called an escort jet. And its purpose is to remove the champagne cork without having to worry about the champagne overflowing or the cork blowing off into the sunset. And here's how it works. You simply put this on, grab the bottle, and squeeze. Done. Isn't that great? And here we go. Now let me tell you a word about this champagne before I pour it. It's Grand Back from South Africa. And those people in South Africa either have wonderful grapes or great talent, because this champagne is every bit as good as a French champagne at less than half the price. It has a wonderful mousse and mouthfeel, just like a great French champagne, but it lacks that yeasty taste that champagne from France usually have, and that I generally don't like. In place of the yeasty flavor, it has a fruity, citrusy, sweet, or rather off-dry aftertaste. It's just a wonderful drink. Grand Back from South Africa, selling in North Carolina for about $15. Here we go. Look at that foam. Isn't that beautiful? So let's celebrate. My assistant and lifetime companion.
To a great evening.